Trump to finally send troops to Nigeria. Moment Natasha AKPOTI invaded the UN yesterday as she exposed the video of how they actually perform injustice in the judicial system of Nigeria. You will see for yourself in this very video. Trump to finally send troops. Moment he saw the video of how they actually handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the secret of what is happening in the judiciary system of Nigeria, everything will finally be exposed. You will see for yourself now. Nigerian government is in panic right now as Aso Rock is shaking right now. Moment Trump is finally sending troops down. I will play the full video. You will hear from the horse mouth. So I would like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. Just stay connected. If you can share the video, just where to share it. Share it to the best social media platform. Let it go viral. And if you can share, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, just do what to click the registration button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube isn't notified. Just click the bell icon. You know, I never wanted to talk about this issue, but there is a high issue of great importance. This is a substantial issue of high level of importance. You know, I never wanted to discuss it, but the issue is finally entering into another level. Trump is finally involved. That is why I just want to give you a breakdown and I want to tell you everything the way it goes. This is what is happening right now. You know, it was few days ago that Natasha AKPOTI actually accused AKPABIO and all of that. You know, Natasha AKPOTI is a senator representing Kogi Central and all. You know, the woman accused AKPABIO of sexual harassment and all of that, but AKPABIO came out and said he did not do any of such. And you know, this woman went to live television in Arise TV. She explained how AKPABIO did all those kind of harassment to her and all. And I said that's not enough. She went back to the Senate and they actually tried to dehumanize her in the Senate. They tried to silence her. Now they finally granted a suspension. You know the story, you know how everything goes, but that is not where I'm heading to. Natasha went to the UN yesterday. She did not expose only her issue, she exposed a lot of things to the UN. And you know, Trump get to see the video himself. You will see how Trump actually watched the video. You will see things for yourself. They play to this man and this man is finally ready to send troops to Nigeria. You will see things for yourself. The secret of how they actually handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu, how they actually make sure that Nnamdi Kanu did not see justice, the truth that they did not want to come out, the truth that they have been hiding before is finally coming out, because this man is already tired in Nigeria now and is finally sending troops down. So this woman Natasha AKPOTI actually exposed everything, and I will play you the video for you to see everything the way it goes. So just stay connected. I'll play you 3 different videos just for you to understand how everything goes. If you can share the video as you're watching it, just where to share it. Share to the different social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Now, first of all, watch this video, and there is the video of where everything started from, what transpired in the Senate, why AKPABIO suspended Natasha AKPOTI. Just stay connected. For those of you that have watched the video before, you can skip it forward, and for those of you that have not watched it, just watch it. Then I'll play you the next video, then I'll play the last video. That's where Trump actually called up to set up troops for Nigeria. Just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Nnamdi said today, for the simple reason that she has no jurisdiction to try me. None whatsoever. I came out of courtesy and respect. She stands recused from my case and cannot try my case. There are things that are happening in this country that a lot of you do not know. It is my duty to make that very, very clear to all of you today, because the lies are too much. The lies are too much. I sent a petition to NJC. I don't want to talk about it. Justice Binta Nyako is using her position for personal gain. For personal gain. Her son and her husband are facing corruption charges. And they told them that if they convict me, this is what happens. You can see it. They don't want the truth to come out. Nobody wants the truth to come out. Nobody wants the truth to come out. Nobody wants the truth to come out in Nigeria. That's the problem. Who is that person? Corruption charges. Yes. They sent her to my case so they can release or smoothing the pathway for the husband and the son. They are facing, it doesn't matter if they off it. In a corrupt society, that's what happens. They are very, very corrupt. There is a breach of judicial oath. They have violated the judicial oath. They have shown bias according to Supreme Court. They are biased against me. Supreme Court said so.
Calm down.
And that is why what is happening in the judgments and rulings concerning me has been happening. So, disobedience to superior court orders. Supreme Court said you are biased. You are against this man. You should not have revoked his bail. Nigeria went to Kenya and kidnapped him. These things are in the public domain. Why therefore are they insisting on trying me? A court order was entered. In that very court order, it was said very clearly and succinctly that she is no more. No. That she is no more going to try me. Why are they insisting? Why are they insisting? I ask. Because they have no case against me. They have no case against me, and they know it.
Thank you for staying connected. You can hear from Nnamdi Kanu. You can hear everything that Nnamdi Kanu actually said in that very video. You know, this man made it known to the general public. He said the judicial system of Nigeria have finally collapsed. And that was the video that they played for Trump to see. That was the video that they took to the UN for Trump to see everything that is going on in the judicial system against the Biafra people, against the Igbo people. Now, Trump have seen that video and he have heard everything of how Nnamdi Kanu actually explained it. Thank God Nnamdi Kanu articulated his feeling. Thank God he said everything in that video that they don't want the truth to come out, that they do everything possible to suppress the truth. Now the same thing is what Natasha AKPOTI said in the UN Congress yesterday when it was exposing everything that AKPABIO and the judicial system of Nigeria did and what the Senate did in the Senate House, how they suspended her, they withdraw her securities and everything. Natasha exposed everything. Now Trump is comparing it to the same thing that Nnamdi Kanu said is what Natasha is saying again, and these people did not know each other. Now just stay connected. Let me play you a video again for those of you that have not understand where the Natasha issue actually emanated from. Let me play you the video. You will see things for yourself. Then I'll play you what Trump said. Stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video, share it. If you can't share it, just like it. Natasha accused AKPABIO of sexual harassment and all of that, but they suspended her afterward. Stay connected. I'll come back again.
Many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akwa Ibom because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akwa Ibom. And at first, we were at Ikot Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyu, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just 3 of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. Like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it." At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me, and the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate President too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate President now said, "Oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel." He has a chapel in his house as well. So when we were going to the chapel, you know, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate President's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot Ekpene. And my husband asked me, "Natasha, what did the Senate President whisper to you? What's he telling you?" I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there wrap it as if there was nothing, because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate president. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I lay to my right, and my husband wrapped his arms around me, and he said, my love, you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate president tell you? Again, I was like, don't you believe me? I said, nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy. Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate president's house, because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, after office to get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajaokuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the order paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it. Or he will speak on others and then let it drag, so that just before my motion is taken, the time will be well spent and won't. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office. And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajaokuta Steel Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed the 3rd time I stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy. At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court. I left his office, and when I got home, I told my husband, I didn't tell my husband what happened. I just told my husband, please, can you speak to the Senate president to allow my motion scale through? I think I also spoke to the DSP, to the leader, Senator Payme. I spoke to a number of senators that they should please intervene and allow him to laugh. I never told them what happened. My husband had to take a trip to London. Then the Senate president traveled to London. My husband met with the Senate president in London and pleaded with him, let my wife take this motion on Ajaokuta. That is very important to her.
Okay. All right, Senator Natasha.
Said, okay, that he did not take it because he was protecting me. Hold on, please. He didn't take it because he was protecting me. Protecting me from what? Anyway, at the time the motion was taken, it was the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Barau, that actually sat. The Senate President stood up and walked out, so it was Senator Barau that actually took it.
All right, Senator.
So which actions are pending in any court of law? Before I rule, I would like to hear the opinion of Senator Natasha Uduaghan regarding the rules.
Thank you, very good and virtuous people of Kogi Central. I beg to differ that this matter is sub judice. And I stand on privilege 10, order 10, which is on privileges.
No, sorry.
No, dear Senate President, please, with due respect, do you mind? I have raised an order 10, privileges, sir, please. It's my right, Senate President. Order 10 on privileges, please. I believe, and please, would you stop turning off my microphone? I represent people, and I represent women who have been silenced. So permit me to speak without my microphone being silenced, dear sir, President of the Nigerian Senate. Order 10 on privileges.
Coincidentally, I'm hearing you.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he or she shall be prepared to move without notice a motion declaring that the contempt of breach of privilege has been committed. I stand and I believe herefore, sir, that your denial, your refusal to accept and treat my petition before the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Abuse of my privileges, and I say forth, that this matter is not subject, it is not before the court. The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on new media, Mr. Patrick Umfom, who addressed my decent outfits as transparent, thereby depicting that I walk sedulously and naked to the chambers. That is the nature of the petition, of the case in court. This petition, sir, has never been filed. The petition that alleges, or should I say, accuses you of making sexual harassment moves, abusing your office, and making malicious obstructions to my legislative functions has not been tendered anywhere before, no courts in Nigeria. So, sir, I would appreciate if you kindly accept my petition and forward same to the Ethics and Privileges Committee so it could be treated. Thank you, sir.
Well, point of order is noted.
10, please. Order 10 again.
Senate Leader. Senate Leader.
10, please. Order, please. Dear Senate President, I feel I'm being judged.
You went on Facebook and left the governor. When the petition comes, you will see. Don't fight.
Now you can see everything that Natasha actually did. Now you can hear everything that this woman said. This woman actually accused AKPABIO A to Z of how AKPABIO actually harassed her and all of that. Even the husband wasn't aware. Now this woman explained everything, and I said that is not enough. She went to the live television in Arise TV. She explained to the entire world, and I said that is not enough. She went back to Senate, and when she went back to Senate, this woman was trying to make a petition, to submit a petition, but they actually bullshit her petition and all of that. They did not make a petition to count. They destroyed a petition before arrival, and I said that's not enough. A lot of the senators, they actually supported AKPABIO. They put their support for AKPABIO, and all of them stand beside AKPABIO. But this woman afterward was suspended. Then she went to the UN. Now I'll play the video of how she went to the UN. You will hear everything that she said. She made AKPABIO to go international. All the injustices that have been happening and all of that. I'm not saying that AKPABIO actually did what this woman is accusing him of and all of that. But the fact remains, if a case like this to happen in a country, they're supposed to suspend the woman and suspend the Senate president involved, and they should investigate the two of them. The thing will not stop the Senate House activity. The Senate House activity will continue, but the two of them will be suspended and they will be investigated. Now, they suspended only the woman. They left AKPABIO. AKPABIO was even the one that suspended the woman. Look at how everything is going now. The woman took them to the UN, and that is when Trump actually get to know everything that is happening. They shoot themselves in the leg by suspending the woman. The woman took them to Trump. Now, Trump is already involved, trying to send troops down to Nigeria to see everything that is ongoing. Just stay connected. I want to play you what Adetun Tinubu's daughter said, and as I'm playing you what Adetun Tinubu's daughter said, you will hear what Natasha said in UN. Let me first of all play you what Natasha said in UN, then you hear from Adetun Tinubu's daughter. War is coming, and they are not expecting it at this moment. They are panicking in the Aso Rock right now. Just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
I come with a heavy heart from Nigeria, but first I'd like to apologize to Honorable Kafila Obara. I am not here to bring shame to our country. I'm here to seek help for the women of Nigeria. Again, my name is Senator Natasha AKPOTI. 5 days ago, on the 6th of March 2025, I was suspended. As a senator, I was suspended illegally because I submitted a petition of sexual harassment against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. I thought that by submitting the petition, he would recuse himself, and both of us will submit ourselves to the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition for a fair and transparent investigation. But unfortunately, I was silenced and I was suspended. I was suspended for 6 months, amongst many other stringent conditions, such as taking away my security, taking away all the officials, vehicles, and other items that were handed over to me as a senator. My salaries will be cut off. I must not appear anywhere near the National Assembly. And for 6 months, I'm not to introduce myself or present myself as a senator locally in Nigeria or internationally. That means I'm here illegally, but I have no other place to go but to come here and speak to you women, because this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. It depicts the crisis of women political representation. My suspension is not just about me. It's about the systemic exclusion of women from political leadership in Nigeria. Women make up 3.6% of political offices, and in the Senate it's just 2.8. We have 109 men and only 4 of us are women. So right now it's 108 with only 3 women. This is a clear case of political victimization, punishment for speaking out against impunity, corruption, and gender-based violence. The United Nations Declaration 48-104 declares sexual harassment as a form of gender violence. The Senate's actions are an assault on democracy. I was elected by my constituents to represent them, yet a few powerful men have unilaterally decided to silence their voices by suspending me for 6 months. My call for an open and transparent investigation into harassment allegations have been met with hostility instead of accountability. If a female senator can be treated this way in the full view of the world, imagine what ordinary Nigerian women would go through every day in workplaces, in universities, and other aspects of our society. A culture of harassment and silencing must end. And this is not just a Nigerian issue, it's a global one. Women in politics, media, and businesses face threats, intimidation, and violence for simply demanding fairness. From sex for grades scandals in universities to harassment in workplaces and political spaces, Nigerian women have constantly been forced into silence. We need stronger legal protections and a zero culture tolerance for gender-based discrimination and intimidation. My call to the international community is such that the world must not stay silent as democracy and women's rights are rolled back in Nigeria. I call on human rights organizations, women movements, and democratic institutions to hold the Nigerian Senate accountable. Nigeria needs global partners to push for women's political inclusion, safety, and protection from political harassment. You may ask, what are my next steps? I will resist the political intimidation. In the past few days, a number of my colleagues, my male colleagues, have reached out to me and said, Natasha, all you need to do is apologize and retract your statements. And I told them I am not going to apologize. I will not apologize for my truth. That I will stand the 6-month suspension, and the very first day I return, I will represent my petition on sexual harassment. And I will continue doing so until there is a fair and transparent investigation. I will fight this injustice and continue to represent my constituents, whether the Senate wants to hear me or not. I will work with women's group, civil society, and legal teams to ensure that this unconstitutional suspension is squashed. This is bigger than me. This is about ensuring that no other woman in politics or public office will ever be silenced again.
A stand for the fact that we must come out publicly to defend ourselves. A stand that as women, as young girls, we must stay firm to protecting our gender. My stand is very straight and simple, that together we bear one name, regardless of our status, regardless of our pedigree, regardless of our position. A woman is a woman, and a mother is a mother. Now, Natasha AKPOTI's case affects every single woman out there. And my stand is, no matter what, Natasha was rude. Natasha shouldn't have used this as a baiting. She tried to use the suspense as an instrument to fight. She didn't speak when she needed to speak, and all of that could be right or wrong. But our stand still remains. We will not allow anyone, no matter how big you think you are, to reduce our strength and our commitments as women and mothers in the society. Whether they have a personal vendetta is not the issue. This is not about Natasha. This is about Natasha's gender. And she is a woman like me. There's something that I preach every time, and it's the spirit of togetherness. When something affects one woman, when something affects one child, when something affects one female, it affects every one of us. If then they call woman Olosho, or then they call us Ashawo, they don't get particular woman who then they call Ashawo. If they want abuse, say you be Ashawo, then go call you, say you be Ashawo. And as a fellow woman, when you see somebody calling a fellow woman an Ashawo like you, shame they read for our face. If people in high positions will suspend a female on the grounds that she has accused the Senate President of sexual harassment, what you're trying to do is you're trying to drain the battery and the energy of every woman out there to learn to keep quiet in the face of adversary, to learn to keep quiet because of the shame. We would have preferred if the Senate President steps aside as a man who claims that he has four females and who has shamelessly turned the house into a kiss-a-thon and a love-a-thon competition, because the Uduagas come to kiss affectionately in public. Suddenly the wife of the Senate President has started to render kiss to show compassion and support to her beloved husband. I don't think you can be a judge in your own case. And the Senate has proven to us that it seems like there's a cult and a cabal going on. It would have been better if Natasha was properly investigated and Natasha was found lying, and then Natasha is punished. Then that would be a shame on womanhood, that you want to use your gender to intimidate or subdue or oppress a fellow man. The narrative in the public space is that Natasha was suspended. I've seen a lot of our adults, women, coming on the media space. If you all claim that you've passed through that institution and you have passed that stage of harassment, what I would have expected of our female adults is to summon Natasha, scold Natasha, explain to her, make her understand that that is an institution of authority, and she's not only representing Kogi, she's representing we women in power, because we're supposed to be more and there are just 4 of them. So Natasha is like a standalone now who has to fight the feminine battle. No, she's not standing alone in this. We are waving our support for a female who has claimed that she was harassed. And we would appreciate if they push further to investigate and come out and tell us that she was guilty, she was telling a lie, rather than trying to intimidate her. Whether both of you have personal issues is none of our interest. According to the Senate President, and Natasha has traveled about 3 times on official assignment afterwards. The timing Natasha said what she said might not be right. The way Natasha said what she said might not be right. The platform Natasha said what she said might not be right. But Natasha is a female, and no woman will come out that she has been totally harassed, and we will keep quiet. Don't forget, in the same country where we are, our minors are being assaulted on a daily basis. Our women are molested on a daily basis. And a lot of them cannot come out to talk because of the fear of oppression and intimidation. So if a high-positioned woman comes out to say that she was harassed, and you are trying to subdue and silence her voice, then what is the fate of our young girls? You will not call us weak in the face of our troubles. You cannot shame we women because we already know that we have problems and challenges we're facing because we're females. On that note, we're trying to appeal to the Senate to take a different direction, a turnaround concerning the case of Natasha AKPOTI. If not, you might be calling for the war of females. You might be calling for a stand-up of we women, because one woman is all women, and one female is our gender. And we owe an allegiance to stand up anytime, any day, regardless of how big or how small you are. Nobody, no woman deserves to be silenced, and no woman deserves to be intimidated. Thank you all, and we will definitely come out on our next move on this issue. Thank you, fellow Nigerians. Thank you all the women who have come out to support. And to those of you women who have not understood that this is not an individual battle or a battle against an individual or a person. This is a battle for, against, and in support of we women being oppressed.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You know, as we all see everything that happened in this very video now, Trump is finally involved in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. That's why a lot of BIAFRANS were actually happy, because they'll be trying everything possible to get the attention of the international communities to attend to the case of Nnamdi Kanu, but to no avail. They did not get a success. Now, Natasha have finally helped them. A lot of people have been saying that why is it that Nigeria judicial system is collapsed? Why is it that there's no justice in Nigeria? A senator, for that matter, accused someone of sexual assault and all of that, and they did not bring the person to book. It is even the person that was accused that even suspended the senator that we're talking about, and the senator have no choice than to take them to the United Nations and all of that. And Trump is seated there listening to everything that Natasha actually said. Natasha said there is no justice in Nigeria, and she wants to make sure that she receives justice so that the voice of women will not be silent. And guess what? America doesn't play with the voice of women. Anything women, the female gender, they don't play with it. Now, Natasha went to them and said she wants justice because all she said was true, and they only suspended her. But in a reasonable country, in a country that we know, in many countries in the world, they will have to suspend Natasha and suspend AKPABIO. Then, prior to the investigation, when they suspend the two of them, they will investigate the two of them. And after investigating the two of them, anyone that is guilty, they will bring the person to book and they will compensate the other person. That was it. But in the case of Nigeria, Natasha was suspended, but the Senate Almighty AKPABIO wasn't suspended. It was even AKPABIO that was even suspending Natasha. The person that was accused was the one that was even suspending the other person. Now, who is Natasha going to cry to? That was why she cried to the UN. And now Trump has seen everything. The same thing that they played to Trump regarding Nnamdi Kanu, because when Nnamdi Kanu was in court and he felt that the judicial system of Nigeria is very corrupt, biased, and there is no justice there, a lot of injustices there, Nnamdi Kanu cried out, and they played the video to Trump. You saw the video in this very video. If you not see it, well, go back to the video. They played the video to Trump. That was where Nnamdi Kanu was saying that they did not want the truth to come out, that they're doing everything possible to just turn his case upside down and all of that. The same thing that Nnamdi Kanu said was what Natasha, after some days, it's not even the same day, after some days, that was yesterday, Natasha have to go and say the same thing in the UN. Said there's no justice system in Nigeria, and they're doing everything possible to silence anybody that come up against them. That's to tell you that there's a particular cabal as far as Nigeria this thing is concerned. That is what a lot of people have been saying for a time, that there is a cabal. Now, the question out there is, why is Nigeria like this? How did Nigeria turn to this thing? Now, Trump is finally trying to send troops to Nigeria to investigate the matter, to investigate everything that is happening in the judicial system of Nigeria, to investigate everything that is happening in the Senate system of Nigeria, because Trump have the power to investigate them, because Nigeria is practicing democracy. And since Nigeria is claiming to practice democracy, the US is the center and the headquarters of all democracy, because democracy actually comes from there. Democracy emanated from there. It emanated from Abraham Lincoln, and Abraham Lincoln is an American, and that is who actually defined democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But obviously now, Nigeria judicial system is not by the people, it's not for the people, and that is what is happening. That's what they want to come and investigate now. Troops are coming down to Nigeria to investigate this issue. AKPABIO has finally shot himself in the leg by suspending Natasha, withdrawing her security, slashing her salary, suspending her for 6 months and all of that. They dehumanizes the woman. Now, a lot of women are actually crying out. They said if they can do this to a senator and they do it successfully, other women in Nigeria are in trouble. Their voices are in trouble at the moment. Even in the universities, you can hear from Tinubu's daughter how she was saying everything. Adeto made it known. He said if they can do it to Natasha and they did it successfully, that shows that women in Nigeria did not save. They are not more safe, because the university sector, a lot of harassment is ongoing to the female gender, and those people will not be able to cry out again. Since someone that is greater than them cried out and they silenced her, they too will not be able to cry out when lecturers are actually doing all sort of rubbish to them. And in different business sectors, a lot of things will be ongoing, and the women will not be able to cry out, and they will be crying lying silently. That's what is happening, and that's what they're trying to fight for, and that's what Natasha is trying to fight against. Now, drop a opinion in the comment section on this video. Do you think Trump will say to the matter 100%, or will just say to it slightly because he have already made up himself to come and sit to the matter? Drop your opinion, feel free, as I'm gonna get another one for you, and share, follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor where the line on top, be pastor. For LAJUPOG watch TV. Pastor where the back, where politician where they do pass himself. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG watch TV.